So yes, correct. I am Bridgette. I work at Homegate and currently in a role of delivery lead, kind of agile coach, kind of product owner, kind of general coordinator, whatever you wish. Yes, so a little bit about nonviolent communication. First of all, I should say I am by no means an expert. When I thought about what I could share with the people here at Tamedia and the general public that was useful for their lives, this is what popped into my mind. So let's get started a little bit. Any ideas what nonviolent communication is? What is nonviolent communication? Well, all right. First of all, it's a book. And the author, funny enough, came also from the Detroit area, which I did as well. Shout out Michigan. It is a structure for expressing yourself, which is what I will be explaining and walking you through today. It is more than that, though. I really believe it is a mindset and a philosophy for life so that most people can get the most out of their lives and their interactions when they can communicate together in a nonviolent way. Yes. Also, it is very convenient, let's say, for business because everything that we do, all that we offer in business is to fulfill people's needs so that they can live better lives. For example, Homegate's in the business of providing shelter in some ways, which is getting to a very basic need. So let us begin. What nonviolent communication is not. So it is not censorship. I quite personally curse a lot. I actually have maybe pretty violent communication when it comes down to it. But what it's also not is trying to keep everything back or stuffing things down and not expressing your anger or your frustration. There's actually a whole chapter in the book about expressing anger fully so that you can get your needs met. So let's go into the 4 parts. So first of all, there are 4 bits to the structured communication model. It's a tool for dialogue, like I said, and it should help people come to better outcomes when they're working through, especially conflict situations, but even in everyday life, there are usually ways to apply it at work or at home. Yes. So the parts of nonviolent communication, which hopefully I translated okay in German for you, observations, which mostly will stick to fact-based things for observations. Feelings, and when we talk about feelings, it's your own feelings. So we want to use I statements, I feel this. Needs, once again, your own needs, my need for, and then the clear requests at the end to get your needs fulfilled and make things better for you. So, observations. The idea behind this section is that your observations should be separate from evaluations. So the statement and the fact can be very specific and not include blame or judgment or criticism, because if you come with a fact or a statement to somebody and they hear criticism or blame, they're maybe less likely to want to listen to the rest of what you have to tell them. Or even if you didn't mean to color your observation with judgment, this can be felt by people. So the idea would be to keep all your judgment, all your criticism out of your mind and state just basic facts. An example that came from the book. Very unfortunate for Jim Carrey. He was the first Jim that popped up on Google. So instead of Jim is ugly, Jim's looks don't appeal to me. Yes. Now, identifying your feelings. This is important because what I think is utmost interest here is that your feelings are your own and nobody causes your feelings. So when something happens and you find yourself feeling like you want to blame somebody maybe, or it's their fault or what have you, actually you can choose to recognize your own feelings and then work out the need associated with them to figure out what's causing you those feelings, right? So nobody can cause your feelings. Something that somebody does can trigger a feeling in you, but your reaction is always your reaction. And you can choose to react in many different ways. So this is actually also from the book. I use this cheat sheet quite a lot. Many of you who know me have seen it before. There is one piece of paper also from the book with a lot of needs that everybody has, and then also feelings that everybody has. So ask yourself, if I can ask you, please, how do you feel right now? Take a minute. How do you actually feel right now? Maybe you're impatient that I'm through with this and we can go to the barbecue. Maybe you're hot because it's warm down here. So hold on to that feeling, okay? And now we're going to think about the need associated with that feeling. So what is your need for associated with this feeling? So maybe you are impatient for this barbecue because you're very hungry or you like to have some fun. Maybe I'm a little bit scared because I'm not so happy to be here in the center of attention in front of everybody. Okay, so the basic needs that we all have, and if you're interested, I could Slack you this page or you could read the book, all associated with things that everybody needs. And when we think about users, specifically, we always talk about user needs, and user needs are also attached to feelings. And what we want to do is to help the user fulfill their needs in order to have good products, in order to have good business, in order to have jobs, which we also need, one other need. The last bit is about making clear requests. So requests should always be in the positive language. They should not focus on negative ideas or thoughts. So here they could have easily wrote, don't stand on the left, right? But this is not as clear as Rex Chen links again, which is Swiss, and maybe you've seen it before. I find it quite interesting myself when I see this in places. Very catchy, happens to rhyme. Also, requests should not be demands. There should not be any punishment or fear of retribution or guilt if the person doesn't do what you ask them to in a positive manner. They should feel free to say, no, I'm not okay with that. Let's work out something else. Yeah. So let's bring it all together. A clear example. I have finished showing you 12 of my 14 slides. Okay, I feel a little bit relieved, still a little bit nervous because I need emotional safety. This is new for me. I've never given a talk to such a large group. And I will be very pleased if at the end of the talk you clap. Shameless self-promotion, please. Okay, and call to action. There is nothing required extra. You could start this today, start it free. If you're feeling frustrated, anxious, angry, or even happy, elated, you can always dial into yourself and start paying attention to your own needs. Trying to understand your own needs will actually help you be empathetic for understanding other people's needs and users' needs, etc. So it's a good exercise, and I really believe it could help everybody if we were aware that this is where we could start easily today. Yes. So, to recap, you can start connecting your feelings to your needs. If you are making observations, you can state them factually without giving your judgment or your criticism. And you can make requests in clear, positive manner, asking the person to do what you would like them to do, and so just instead of just saying, you know, stop doing X, Y, Z other thing. And one other plug. Read the book. It has so much more information than what I can share with you right now. Many other very important chapters like empathetic listening and things of such nature. It's used for mediation all across the world, many different countries and many different conflict zones. So it's really quite interesting, and I can't recommend it enough. And that's all. Thank you.